This year, we will celebrate the 116th anniversary of what became the National Wildlife Refuge System. President Theodore Teddy Roosevelt designated what became the first National Wildlife Refuge on Pelican Island off of the coast of Florida 115 years ago. The National Wildlife Refuge System is the only network of public lands and waters in the United States specifically dedicated to the conservation of plant, wildlife, and fish species. Encompassing more than 850 million acres of public lands and waters, the system is comprised of 567 units, making it the largest system in the world dedicated for the purpose of wildlife conservation, restoration, and recovery. The National Wildlife Refuge System is home to thousands of species of fish, wildlife, and plants. These include more than 380 species of threatened and endangered plants and animals that depend on refuges for their persistence and long-term recovery. Refuges have become especially important to species contending with climate change, the effects on individual species and their habitats nationwide. The National Wildlife Refuge System also provides for wildlife-dependent recreation and education, hunting, fishing, and other activities enjoyed by millions of Americans every year. My favorite National Wildlife Refuge is Heart Mountain National Wildlife Refuge in Southeastern Oregon. It particularly preserves a tract of sagebrush steppe habitats and riparian zones that are important for the conservation of sage grouse, pronghorn antelope, mule deer, and other sagebrush-dependent species. It's a beautiful landscape. Heart Mountain is representative of the magic of this system and the values that it protects. Ever since Donald Trump was elected president, the National Wildlife Refuge System has come under unprecedented attack. These threats are wide-ranging, and yet taken together, they represent a systematic attack on our only system of public lands and waters, particularly reserved for wildlife conservation. With increasing threats from habitat loss and fragmentation, climate change, and invasive species, the National Wildlife Refuge System has never been more important to the conservation of fish, wildlife, and plants nationwide. Join defenders of wildlife in defending our National Wildlife Refuge System.